And freight, really violently creeps back on things that are happening around the world and really leading the disruption of the lead times and landed costs. We're starting to see again increase of how long it's taken to get the product in. The container cost is going up. So really thinking about how do we survive and stay resilient in this particular environment. What does all of this might mean for you? Really, it's your assortment is bloated and really misaligned with your demand and your customer preferences, or you're really just building it on a really thin margins. You most likely will bleed profit, before the product even hits the warehouse. And a lot of times we've hyper focused on the product margins, but we underlook the effect and the operational costs that later on will affect our bottom line profitability for that particular private label. We see that more often than you think. So, and that all ties back in again, taking a step back and looking at all of your processes and whether they are optimized to support your private label initiative. But we'll talk a little bit more about this as we unveil a little bit more of this topic. Where do we really start to play and identify the scalable categories? Before we really talk design and cost, we have to talk strategy. Not even a category is worth building under private label, right? And really, how do we find what's scalable today and what's really important for us to build? We're going to look at 4 pillars. One of them would be high velocity. Asking yourself, can this product move quickly in volume? You do not want to create private label on anything that unless it's a volume drivers. And with a predictable replenishment logic, thinking about knit tops, denim, innerwear, soft accessories, and thinking about how did that ties to essential product for your customer. Because no matter what happens in the world, no matter what happens in the economy, the essential product would still live because people still need essentials.